Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group. What I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have the 2024 Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek Edition. So we'll look at the interior, the exterior, some of the special features of this model, and then we'll go for a spin around and see what it's like out on the open road. Okay, so now we're inside the Rock Creek Edition, and this is the four-wheel drive model. So you can get it in front-wheel drive and some of the Pathfinder trims, and the Rock Creek in the four-wheel drive model. Obviously, it's a little snowy today, it's a little slippery, so I think this is the perfect one to tackle the terrain. So, put it in drive, and we'll go for a little spin around. Now, there's a lot of different trim levels when you're looking at the Pathfinder, and the Rock Creek kind of falls in the middle to upper tier, kind of depending on what you're looking at or what you're looking for. So the Rock Creek that we have here today, what makes it different than the standard or the regular Pathfinder is a few different options. Now, this one has the larger 265/60 Toyo Open Country tires. On a day like today, I am very thankful for that because it is great in the snow and the ice. It gives you that little bit of extra bite paired with the four-wheel drive system. That makes it a great winter vehicle. Now from there, the Rock Creek is a little bit different tuned suspension. You get that cool tubular roof rack up above, not to mention those beadlock style wheels that match those Toyo tires. Now inside, you are going to find quite a few differences. On the interior, this one has this really cool orange stitching that goes through the dash, on the steering wheel, and then into the seats as well. Plus, it's going to have the Rock Creek insignia on the center console here, as well as on the seat backs, which looks awesome with the orange and black, especially matched with this green exterior. I think it gives it a really cool and kind of sporty off-road look. Now from there, every Pathfinder is going to come with the V6. This one is a 3.5 liter, but the Rock Creek gets about a 10 horsepower jump. I don't know if that's to make up for maybe the larger wheels and tires, but that's one thing that this one offers, and all of them are going to come with the 9-speed automatic transmission. So with the four-wheel drive model, it is an intelligent four-wheel drive system. So what's actually kind of cool on the dash here, you can see, is it using front-wheel drive or is it slipping and using the four-wheel drive system? That's going to be good for about 23 mpg on the highway. Now inside, there's a lot of different ways that these are kind of configured or different colors they come in, but this one is going to have the captain's chairs in the second row, and that's going to be a removable center console, which is a pretty cool feature. So you can pop that out if you don't need it or don't want it. It makes it very easy for getting in and out of the third row. There's also little push buttons on the back of the chairs or on the side. You just click those, kicks it up, moves it forwards, and it makes access to the third row very simple. So there is a 7 or 8 passenger model. If you have the bench seat, it's kind of the same difference. You can fold it or slide it forward, and that you can access the third row that way. Now, if you're not hauling people around and you need a little bit of extra storage space, you can actually fold each side. It's a 60-40 split for the third row, or you can flip down that second row, and that gives you a ton of room in the back to haul anything around. Or if you just need to fold one side, or maybe you can use the roof rack up above for even more storage. There's a lot of usability out of this SUV, being that it's not a gigantic SUV. It still gives you a lot of storage space and a good amount of space inside for moving people around. Now, one other thing I really like about the Pathfinder is it's easy to park, especially in this model. All of the Rock Creek editions come with the 360 camera. So when you're stopped or coming up to a parking spot, you can click the camera button and you can kind of keep clicking through it, and you can see the front-facing camera, rear-facing, or the side. If you've got a tight garage stall, or if you're at that busy grocery store on a weekend, you know just how important that 360 camera can be. Also, if you're going to a campsite or out on the trails, that little camera can definitely help you out in a pinch. Now, like I said, it's snowy, it's cold, it's crappy out today, so this model does have heated seats for the driver and the passenger. As you work your way up the trim levels, you can also add those cooled or air-conditioned seats and heated seats for the second row if you'd like the Platinum model. Now, the infotainment screen in here is great. It's got Apple CarPlay, it's gonna have Android Auto, just their standard Bluetooth you can pair into this one, and as you work your way through the different trim levels, there also is available wireless Apple CarPlay. But I've got my Google Maps, my Spotify going, my text messaging, and there's voice controls on the steering wheel here, so I can click that little button, and then it'll let me change maybe the radio or make my calls that way, so my attention is focused on the road ahead. Now, how about safety? This is going to have emergency braking. You can also have the blind spot monitoring in this model. I mean, these things paired with that backup camera, there's also an adaptive cruise control. So with the blue Pro Pilot button on the steering wheel here, that gives you blind spot, forward collision. That's also got a lane assist in here. There's a ton of really great features for if you and your family are in the vehicle, you're going to make sure that you remain very safe. Now, how's the ride and drive? Usually when you put a huge off-road tire on a vehicle, it's noisy in the cabin and you get a lot of kind of feedback through the wheel, but I really didn't even notice. I would have forgot if I wasn't thinking about it so much that the 9-speed automatic with almost 300 horsepower gives you more than enough get up and go. It's comfortable. It's very quiet in here, which is another thing that surprised me a lot. Usually when it's cold and the roads are slushy, the vehicles can kind of get pretty loud inside, but the Pathfinders remained relatively quiet and comfortable. Even cruising without the radio on, I found it to be a really pleasant ride. So there's also a bunch of different drive modes. So with towing, this vehicle actually can tow up to 6,000 pounds, which is gonna be pretty good when comparing to things like maybe the Honda Pilot or the Toyota Highlander or even the Hyundai Palisade. 6,000 pounds when properly equipped is a pretty great feature. Now I'm using the backup camera here. That 360 camera I love. It makes it so easy to just sneak right into a parking spot. And then with our gear selector here, just click the park button and that's gonna bring you to a stop. Obviously this frees up some space. So I've got a great little cargo area kind of hidden below, whether that's for extra stuff or throwing a purse down there. It makes it very simple to keep things out of the way, but adds extra storage. So overall, what do I think? I love the Apple CarPlay in here, the technology, the heated seats are super comfortable, and I was very surprised at just how good it is out on the open road for the ride and drive. So I think if you're in the market for a third row SUV, you gotta get out, take the Pathfinder for a spin, see what you think. So that was just a brief look and drive in the new 24 Nissan Pathfinder. Now, if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive for yourself, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by any one of our Nissan locations. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.